Welcome to Dr. DC podcast. Why am I doing that?
I don't know. You keep dropping the.
I think it's because I keep expecting to go into like the double dose. Yeah, I think that's why. Welcome to Dr. DC's podcast.
Very, very funny.
Welcome to the Dr. DC podcast.
There you go.
I just think we should remove the. It's cleaner.
Drop the.
It's cleaner. This is a special episode.
It is.
We didn't add news to this most recent episode because there was too much news
And too much episode.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, could you imagine how long that episode would have been?
Yeah.
That'd have been like our year one episodes.
Yeah.
That were. Remember when we started this and you were like, "Oh, I want that to be like 30, 40 minutes."
When we started this, the first few episodes were like 45 minutes.
Because that's what you wanted them to be.
Then they all went to 2 hours at least. And now we've gotten them between like 60 and 90 minutes. Now we're in the sweet spot. But for so long, it was like either we're not talking about anything or we are taking way too long to get through stuff.
I think there's also just because maybe somebody had to create a bunch of extra effort and like games and activities so that somebody else would participate.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah, I don't know who. It's only just been the two of us. But yes, most recently, because there was no Comic-Con this year. There's no San Diego Comic-Con. Did not happen. So a lot of the announcements that DC usually does, and they really like own Comic-Con. I mean, Marvel sort of backed out.
Well, I mean, because Marvel's on this sort of weird little hiatus.
Yeah.
As a hiatus even from, I mean, they have movies that will be made and will be coming out, but even in the immediate future, they were pivoting to these Disney Plus series, right? Like Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision, stuff like that. They were even going more that way, right? So, there's this sort of big like gap that there hasn't been for like 11 years.
Yeah.
It's
kind of crazy, but there was no Comic-Con this year, so nobody got to do any announcements.
Yeah.
So, DC has been doing what a lot of like large independent brands have been doing as of late.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it with E3. That's been happening over the last few years where Sony is leaving or Microsoft is doing something different, and
Disney has its D23.
Yeah, everybody's realizing that these like big independent conventions, like, I mean, everything gets its own convention already. So why not give a convention for your own?
Yeah, and
thing?
it's not that they won't show up for San Diego when it's back, because they will, of course. But I don't know. So DC's answer to this was like a free digital, 24-hour long.
Basically convention,
and you just go online and just watch, and it was called DC FanDome, and it was cool because instead of being like hour-long panels, they were like nothing went more than like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it was tight, so they could get through lots of stuff. Just keep it to like the meaty stuff that people really want.
Yeah.
Get some panel kind of stuff, some like pre-submitted like fan questions and stuff like that. Some
sounds
cool
like
little things.
Sounds like a good format.
Yeah, if only someone had come up with pre-submitted fan/listener questions
for a DC property.
That's
right.
Jim Lee, I expect my check in the mail.
I mean, we know DC's always listening.
Yeah, Jim specifically.
Yeah, fuck Jim Lee.
He loves hearing how much you love his work.
Hey, look, every good house needs a foundation, I guess. So his work is basically that.
I mean, I don't think that saying someone's work is foundational is the insult you think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
All the good stuff goes on top. Yours is garbage.
Jesus.
I don't need a foundation. I built my house without it. Everything's going to be all right. Oh, no, everything's crumbling.
Oh,
no. So, yes, DC FanDome. Cute little name.
Yeah. And it was a ton of fun.
You watched the whole thing. I was working. But...
Almost everything. I did, I dipped out because I was on ongoing comic book discussion.
Oh, that's right.
So I recorded that. And I was also like at home. My daughter was there. I was like trying to still be like a contributing member of my household.
Yeah, whatever.
But I did basically watch the full thing. It was awesome. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It was a really good time. There's a lot to talk about, and lots to see. A lot of trailers came out of this. Games and movies. A lot of trailers.
So, well, why don't we start jumping into it?
Let's do it.
And at the end, if there's some stuff that I missed, we can bring it up.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So the first thing, we got our first trailer for The Flash Season 7.
Sure. Yep. So the Flash Season 7 trailer is mostly made up of stuff that they had already filmed that they didn't get to finish the finale of Season 6 properly. So Season 7 is going to start with some of the things that were going to happen originally at the end of Season 6 before COVID was happening.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. So I think all of this stuff is stuff they've already shot because they haven't gone back on set yet. I don't think they're going to for a little bit, but Season 7 will start in 2021.
Okay. Let's take a look.
Yeah. Let's
because I haven't seen it. Mirror Master and it's in her full...
Yeah, in full Mirror Master garb.
I don't like evil version of some of our like main characters. I don't.
Right.
He's still like without his powers, isn't he?
Yeah.
At least
because the artificial Speed Force didn't work initially. There you go.
Very
little tease sizzle reel thing for Season 7 there.
2021.
So, some things that are happening for Season 7. So, the guy that plays Chester on the show, he was in a few episodes last season. He and the person that plays Allegra, they've been promoted to season regulars. Or series regulars.
Okay, so
they're part of Team Flash.
Is this the guy that created the like black hole or whatever it was?
Yes, yeah. From the first episode of Season 6.
Yeah. So I liked him. He was fun.
So the two of them are now series regulars for this season coming up.
Wow, that's interesting.
So that's pretty cool. We do see a bit of Godspeed in that trailer. All through Season 6, we were just peppered with this Godspeed mystery. They were sending like these weird clones back in time. But we haven't actually fought Godspeed.
Yeah.
So I would expect that for Season 7. I think it would make sense. I mean, it'll make sense a little bit anyway because they have to do this. But I think it worked well in Season 6 that like they had blood work for the first part of the season. And then Crisis happened. And then we had this Mirror Master thing.
Yeah.
They were sort of forced into it for Season 7, but I actually thought that worked well. It kind of broke up the arcs a little bit.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as long as like a Season 4 or something like that
well,
did. Or Season 5 with Cicada.
The crossovers really help, and then having sort of... because the problem is there's like, yes, like Season 4, it's like you get one villain and it's like just dragging through the season. But you split that up, it's kind of nice.
So if we get, Mirror Master, first bit of the season, Godspeed, next bit, like I think that works really well, actually.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's interesting that it's considering like they're heading into like Season 7. It's actually surprising that we're only just now really getting some more characters. Like, this show has really not brought in that many people. Like, we had Kid Flash, and we had gotten...
I mean, they have had to subtract Elongated Man.
Ooh, yeah. But I mean, like, when you look at a show like Arrow...
Yes.
Like, they've brought in way more
Arrow
people.
by Season 7, I think, had way more cast shakeups than Flash has,
But this is not too bad. And I like some of these new people. So
I think it might have been in the Flash panel, or it might have been in like the Women of Color panel. But the woman that plays Cecile said that the thing she always wanted to do was play a bit more of a, not necessarily evil, but a bit darker version of her character. And there's something in that teaser about like, there's this
unlocking her abilities.
Like, something's been unlocked in her that maybe she's not going to hold back. So I think we can maybe look for like a little bit of a turn in Cecile in this season.
I mean, I like how like motherly and sweet she is, but I hope we don't...
I wouldn't want her to go full villain or anything like that, but just have her explore like how powerful she is might be interesting. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's Season 7, our trailer. I'm stoked. I love that show.
This show is like kind of won you back over. Like Season 6, I think was pretty solid. Yeah,
it was. I think that, I mean, the confusion of COVID has definitely made me sort of forget about it, but I'm ready to jump back in.
Yeah, totally.
Hell yeah. Next piece, we had a little bit of information about Sandman.
Yeah, the Sandman panel was kind of cool. So it was mostly Neil Gaiman and G. Willow Wilson, because she writes, in the Sandman universe. And then Michael Sheen was in there because he plays he's Lucifer, I think.
Yeah.
In the Audible, audiobook series. And obviously he and Neil Gaiman worked together on Good Omens and stuff like that. So that was pretty neat.
But we got some announcements.
Yeah, I mean, the announcement was sort of like a half announcement thing where it was like the Netflix thing will happen once things can happen.
Yeah.
But Neil Gaiman said that they're taking this opportunity to basically go through, fine tune all the scripts. He said like they're still working on it, but just they can't film anything, can't do any of that stuff yet. But that Netflix series, Sandman series, is going to happen. And
Gaiman's quoted as saying that it's a little bit loose when it comes to like like how closely it is to the actual book, but it is still faithful.
Yeah, his philosophy, he said, was like the book is set like in the 80s or 90s or whatever, right? So it's like Morpheus has been captured in 1919 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then when he gets out, it's the 80s or 90s. So for this one, it's still Morpheus gets captured in like 1919, but he gets out now. And then he said,
which is funny because now it's been 100 years, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and so what Gaiman was saying was that was their jumping off point. Is like, does that change the story? Where does it change the story? How does it change the story?
I mean, it would be kind of
so they're using the Sandman template and then saying, but if it's 30 years later, what is different? What would change? What are the pieces that don't fit from the original story now that we've changed that sort of big piece of the setting?
Though it kind of would be cool if they would have made it like set it in the 90s and make it like super 90s.
There's a part of me that kind of would have wanted that too, but I mean, like I get it.
Yeah.
Especially if you want like just a slightly broader kind of thing. I get it.
For sure, yeah. I'm stoked for it. Gaiman said that the pandemic has allowed for more work on the scripts.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I'm always up for more work on scripts. Along with further tailoring of the story to fit the different time periods. So that's great. I'm stoked for it. I mean, I've never gone through the full thing of Sandman, so it's a thing that I've really wanted to.
I feel like I might not have read the last 2 volumes. I think I've gone through most of it. I may never have read the last little bits.
But it's also a thing that's pretty like dense. Like
it's extremely dense. Yeah.
So to see him be part of the creation of something that's a bit more approachable, I think could be really interesting to see sort of like him try to more explain what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, it's a little bit surprising that it's taken this long, considering that like
how high of a like it's put on a pedestal
and how long we've been sort of steeped in just comic books being adapted into things. Right? I think it's a little crazy that it's taken this long, but it's very, very cool. I mean, I love Sandman.
It is funny though that we're in a world where it was like I think even like 2 years ago it would have been like Netflix is taking it. We're in great hands, and now I'm like, I guess Netflix. That's fine.
Netflix is just a spot.
Yeah, but I'm also just like,
given.
I guess it's not HBO, but
yeah. Well, yeah. HBO sort of stormed back into the.
Well, yeah, they've done a really good job of sort of
especially
these, like,
Watchmen.
Well, yeah, Watchmen. I mean, they've really cemented themselves, and I think Netflix has sort of become this like hallmarking of a lot of like
that's true too,
like genre stuff.
Not to say that there's not still good stuff coming out on it, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, there's just
their philosophy as a business is a lot different from HBO's.
Yeah. So I'm hesitant but curious. I mean,
Gaiman's still largely in control. I mean, he's got to at least tacitly approve of things. If we've gone this long without a Sandman thing, I have a hard time believing he would be okay with it if he didn't think it was.
And it's not his first thing to be adapted, right? Like he knows how to take control. I mean, the man has had a lot of things adapted.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just kind of crazy that it's taken so long to get to this one.
Yeah, really.
Of all the things that have been adapted, I was
I know, like Stardust was like forever ago.
Like this seems like it would be the first thing we would do, right?
That's true, yeah.
All right. Next piece of news. Shazam 2.
Yes. There wasn't too much news out of this because we're so far away from the filming, but they did release what the title is.
Yes.
And it's Fury of the Gods.
What do you think that means?
Well, I mean, Shazam gets his powers from gods.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be a thing where maybe we explore a bit of mythology. There's a little... I mean... Listen, it doesn't really matter. Continuity is not that important.
Yeah.
But if there's a little bit of a thing where it's like, aren't the gods dead?
Yeah.
But I think where I'm most curious about is whether or not Mr. Mind, the whole setup from the end of the first one, is going to be in the second one, or if they're building to like Mr. Mind and the Monster Society of Evil for like maybe a third one.
Yeah.
Like, because those are real classic Captain Marvel and Shazam villains.
Totally.
I wonder if they're building them up over to be like the big ones, or if Mr. Mind's plan is to like disrupt Shazam's powers by messing with the gods, or you know what I mean, or something like that. It really could go either way.
Maybe Mr. Mind's their Thanos, and it's gonna all of the universes are slowly gonna come together.
I mean, for in the 52 series, Mr. Mind became this giant like universe eating, continuity eating moth.
Oh my god!
Like eating his way through reality. I doubt they're going to do that in a movie, but Mr. Mind does have like a history of sort of like dimensional travel and space adventure. I mean, he's from Venus. He's a Venusian bug. So there's that to it, but
it would be cool if they did the whole, like he loses his powers and has to gain the other versions of Shazam.
Oh, right. Like the ones where different gods
lend
them powers. Yeah, I mean, really, that title is so vague. It could be literally anything. I think there's lots of room for fun stuff in there, but I hope we would explore a little bit more of like the magic.
Well, yeah.
The first one was fun because it was like, what if a superhero was a kid, but we're very much in our world for the most part. I think it would be cool for a Shazam 2 to go more into like, what are the magic realms? Yeah. Take that group of kids, take the Shazamily, and bring them to a magic world where they could be kids and full of wonder and be like, oh, a magic world, amazing. And then they also have to deal with it.
Yeah, because then there's also bad stuff. Yeah. Right? So apparently the panel also included an extended appearance by Sinbad.
Oh, yes.
It's hard to tell if he's actually part of the movie or was just there to pump up like the panel.
Yeah, he was there and he was making the joke that people confuse Kazam with and Shazam. And then he said something like, and I'm going to be in the movie, but like it was a little ambiguous if he was just leaning in or if he legitimately was
in the movie.
I mean, that would be a very funny thing to lean into, that whole Kazam Shazam thing and just put Sinbad in the movie.
I mean, I that feels like a thing to do.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I
think it's funny.
Love if Sinbad ended up in movies again, because like there was a time period when there was a ton of Sinbad stuff.
Sinbad was hot for a bit.
Though. Yeah. And then he's just like he disappeared. Do I want to go looking into why he disappeared? Not necessarily.
No, I'm sort of in my head I was like, maybe there was a reason.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it's kind of always just like, what happened to those person? And I'm like, maybe I don't want to know, because either it's their fault or someone else's. But I'm like, either way, I don't know if I want to deal with the feeling of that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, Shazam 2 is like so far away that like we're not even in pre-production yet. But
no,
they got a title.
Yeah,
working on script. Very early days.
But it's right now they're looking at November 4th, 2022 as the date's going to be out. So we definitely got some time, but
for sure,
it's exciting. All right, next one. Speaking of something that's a bit off and we don't really get any footage of is Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean the Aquaman panel. Weirdly, is probably the one that I was like, I didn't really need to watch this. It was fine. It was mostly James Wan and Patrick Wilson just shooting the shit and like answering some fan questions, which is fun and very cool. But like, again, so far out from even real pre-production on it that like, there's not much to say. James Wan basically said that he wants to, and we had sort of called this too, that he wants to make it a bit more personal, a bit more serious, a bit more, he said relevant. And I mean, that doesn't mean go full serious. It just means that, like, I think we had sort of pitched. The second one is probably going to be a bit more personal story, especially if it's really about like Manta and the vengeance thing, Arthur dealing with being a king, that kind of stuff. Like, it would make sense to take it down from the big Lord of the Rings-y sort of fantasy that the first one was, make it a little bit more personal, and then
well, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So I think that all kind of tracks with stuff that we had sort of assumed or felt or intuited, but there wasn't a ton of info in there.
No, not really. I mean, I'm curious to see what it ends up being about, like long term. But I think that we're probably near the sort of. We were pretty close to being right about, I think, what it'll be. Yeah, we're pretty smart.
Yeah. James Wan, hire us as screenwriters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out.
Shut the fuck up. Cut this bit out.
Oh, yeah. All right, next piece of news. Something we did we're getting a teaser for Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam. I mean, teaser but they still haven't shot anything.
Yes, but there's getting
like a little animated teaser.
We're getting image of The Rock in the outfit.
These are sort of concept images, but basically this is the stuff they're starting to work with, so it's not a stretch to imagine he'll look roughly like this. Yeah.
All right, let's put it on. I mean, I like the sort of like...
I think it doesn't have sound right now.
The time period.
Yeah, here, start it over, because he's got a little narration.
I like visual.
Yeah, I love like the big statues. And, yeah.
Kratos?
He does kind of look like Kratos there. There you go.
It seems like what they might be doing is almost like a Che Guevara, like a man who was like trying to do who's doing something good, but in sort of an aggressive way.
I mean, but that's Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
Like, more than most DC villains, even though a lot of villains have these sort of complex sides. Like Sinestro is also sort of in this camp, but Black Adam is this one where, like, yes, like there's a reason he got the powers in the first place. He was chosen as champion by the Wizard.
Yeah.
The same way Billy was. He got those powers for a reason, but the powers corrupt him. And in a lot of comics, Black Adam really doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He just like wants Kahndaq to be free. He doesn't even necessarily want to rule it. He just wants, like, if, military tries to take over, he'll stop them. Someone tries to invade, he'll stop them. Things happen that affect Kahndaq, he stops it. Like, he's very much just like listen, I will kill and hurt and do whatever I have to do to keep my people, my country safe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's definitely the hero of his own story, that kind of old anti-hero trope, right? So,
but like more than just your typical anti-hero thing. Like he's a bit. It seems like he's a bit more aggressive.
Oh yeah, I mean, he definitely views himself as superior.
Yeah,
like he's got that god complex thing, right? And he doesn't hold back. He doesn't have like the restraint of other heroes and stuff like that. And this is a thing that, like, after they showed this teaser thing, there was a Q&A thing with The Rock.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool, actually. And
he's pretty good about that kind of stuff. So,
I mean, this guy manages his brand so tightly. I would, to the point where, and I said it on Twitter, I think this movie's going to be dope.
Yeah.
My one concern is whether or not he will allow his brand to play second fiddle to the character.
Yeah.
Like, how much evil is he going to let us see?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to be in his eyes, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just, you know what I mean? That's the piece that I'm still a little wary of, but like the concept art, like the design aesthetic, the sort of look they're going for looks amazing. Yeah. Very cool. They did also in that panel reveal J.S. Ayers that will be in the movie. So we already knew Atom Smasher would be in there because he's cast.
Yeah.
Already. But they said Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and Cyclone will also be in that movie. So Hawkman and Dr. Fate make a ton of sense because they have ties to the 5,000 years ago with Naboo and with Prince Khufu. So that makes a ton. yeah, Naboo. And then they announced Cyclone and people were like, why not Hawkgirl? And later on Twitter, he was like, we wanted Hawkgirl. There's a reason she's not in there. I will share it with you when I can.
Yeah.
But that's why Cyclone is going to be in the movie instead.
Okay.
So we're going to see the Justice Society. We're going to see these new characters. We're going to get fucking Dr. Fate and Hawkman in a movie.
That's crazy.
And then we're also going to see Atom Smasher. We're going to see Black Adam. Like, I'm very, very pumped. Even with that little concern that I've already lodged, extremely pumped for this Black Adam movie. I think it's going to be very cool, especially if for a third Shazam, Black Adam and Shazam then finally, like loop in.
Who's directing this one?
I don't remember offhand, actually.
Because my one thing is like the great thing about the previous, like I love the fact that Shazam was directed by a horror director, because you're getting this sort of thing where when it gets scary, it gets really scary, because like the one thing that this guy's good at is scary, right? Yeah. So it's like the laughs are bigger, the scary is bigger. Like it's the same reason why like I think comedians make really good actors. It's because they're so like in touch with these big emotions.
Sure, yeah.
And I feel like what makes horror directors so good with other stuff is that they're so in touch with the big emotions, right? And
because you can't be scared unless you felt safe.
Yes.
At some point, like they know you have to know how to do all of it.
Exactly, and that's why I think they make such good like these types of things. So I'm just concerned with now you're taking a character who's supposed to be kind of like evil, and I just hope that they nail that part.
Yeah, I mean I mean, I think that's the same concern that we both got. But I am excited in the way that it was cool to see Atlantis, or the way that it was cool to see Themyscira. I'm pumped to see like 5,000-year-old Kahndaq. Oh, that's another one of these like iconic DC locations. It's this like ancient, kind of proto-Egyptian, kind of Mesopotamian sort of culture that has. Yeah, like it's steeped in magic. It's before magic like left the quote unquote real world. It's when people knew magic was just out there.
God, people love putting rock in that like time period, don't they?
Oh yeah, you want the Black Adam Scorpion King like crossover? Yeah.
I just like Scorpion King is just like he like or mentions him like, oh, I think that's this guy over here. Like,
yeah, the movie starts with him snapping the Scorpion King's neck.
Oh my god! Well, I mean, yeah, hell yeah. I think that'd be great. Or just throw like Brandon Fraser in it somewhere.
yeah. Robot Man.
Oh my god! Boom! Yeah, it's DC, of course.
It's perfect.
That's awesome.
I am excited though. I mean, yeah. What is yet to be seen is if The Rock is willing to become this character, or if he's going to be The Rock in a Black Adam costume.
I mean, he's been such like a champion for this.
He has. That's true.
Like more than a lot of other stuff I've seen.
He does seem very passionate about this as a project.
And I don't know where that's coming from, but that gives me a little bit of hope, because he's been so
because apparently they offered him Shazam. They basically said, red or black suit, which do you want?
Wow.
And he said Black Adam.
Wow.
So he chose it.
Well, I mean, he started as a heel. I mean,
it's definitely in him. You know what I mean? Though he's just so well branded now.
Yeah.
Like,
well, for me, it's the Fast and the Furious stuff. I think that's really bringing it up for us, which is like his sort of like, I can't be beaten up. I can't kind of like, shit.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I'm concerned about.
But if he actually like has as much heart in this project as he seems to, and it does seem genuine, even in that panel, he seems excited about it.
But he's also number one on the bill. Like the problem with Fast and the Furious is he's competing for top spot with all these other people, and so I think that's where a lot of that stuff came up for.
That's fair too.
He was just like, look, as my brand, like I need to be at the top, and all the other people have the same thing.
Right.
So that's why all those rules started coming out.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose too. That's a good point.
That would be my guess, but I mean, we won't know until we know. So
I am excited though.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Speaking of being very excited for something, a thing that that we've been talking about and sort of musing about, and then we got a little bit of a taste of it a few weeks ago. The Suicide Squad video game from Rocksteady, the new Rocksteady video game.
So this is the video game that actually is in the Arkham universe.
Yes,
and it's Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
Crazy.
So let's check out that trailer.
Absolutely. Very excited for this one.
It's pretty cool, yeah. Brainiac skull ship there.
Fuck. It's like a movie.
Yeah, I know. It looks insane.
Guy would just watch this as a movie.
Yeah.
I love that it's all bright.
Yes. Yeah, it's daytime. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I do like this.
Yeah.
It's Harley is like telling Waller that they're doing things, but they're just like hanging out on a roof. I do like the sort of like dynamic that they're building with this team. I know this is a cinematic, but still, like, this just looks dope.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is colorful, you know, like
it's so different than
daytime.
Arkham.
We're in Metropolis. We got these bright colors, and it's got a totally different aesthetic to Arkham. Pretty cool looking.
Killing Superman. Like I wonder.
I think the basic idea is that Brainiac takes over the Justice League.
Yeah. That's crazy that we're gonna have to go after the Justice League. Like, how do you catch the Flash? Like,
well, so what's cool about this? So the idea is that you're always playing as the team. You can switch between the four main characters: Harley, Deadshot, King Shark, and Boomerang at any point in the game.
My God.
It's not like there's a Boomerang level and a Harley level.
Holy
you can
shit.
switch at any time, and they all have different strengths and abilities.
That's
so
crazy.
The Boomerang in this game has super speed, which is sort of like the second Boomerang in comics. Owen Mercer had limited super speed.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, this is clearly, I think, meant to be Digger Harkness, but they're riffing on that.
Yeah.
King Shark is obviously going to be your strong guy. Deadshot, at least from this trailer, he's got a jetpack. He can fly. He's your aim guy. Harley, obviously melee, that kind of stuff. But yeah, each character will have their own traits and stuff like that, and you can switch at any time through the game. So that's again incredible. A totally new sort of dynamic from the Arkham games, where even when you got to play as other characters, it was like you're really on the rails. Like, you can only do it here, and then this section, then we'll switch you back, and blah blah blah. So this is very, very cool. We didn't get gameplay footage of it, but I think it looks like a ton of fun.
Who do you think the Justice League is? Do you think it's the classic?
The rumor that I can't remember whether or not it was confirmed was that it would be Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, and Red Robin. Red Robin? Because Bruce is gone in this.
Oh.
Like, Bruce is done being Batman, because this takes place after Arkham Knight. This is in that universe, but just later. So instead of Batman, you're going after probably Red Robin or something like that. But,
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I mean, listen, how are you going to go after Batman in the daytime?
I mean, listen, I think a lot of people were complaining, be like, why do we always have to have evil versions of heroes? And like, yeah, that's a fair complaint, but also, like, doesn't this game just seem like fun mayhem? And like, the fun mayhem you really only get to do when you're villains. So whether or not you're going after Superman, like, it's better to go after Superman because he has been mind controlled than to be a villain in this game and just kill a good Superman.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
but also
this is the setup.
Suicide Squad wouldn't get sent after them if they were just good.
Well, depends. Yeah, but yes, I know. Yeah,
typically that's
actually there's several instances that
the entire Justice League they go after
in the Justice League versus Suicide Squad series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
not necessarily to kill them, but yeah. They've clashed before, the two teams.
Yeah. I just mean, typically, I would assume it's because they did something wrong.
Or the setup would be that the Justice League has found out about the Suicide Squad, has come to shut them down, and Waller is forcing you to face them. Something like that. But regardless, I think this looks like just crazy mayhem, and I think it'll be fun.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the Suicide Squad...
Oh, yeah.
We got a sort of making of trailer, but within that, we got all the announcements.
So there were two videos. There was the roll call, and then there was the making of behind the scene kind of teaser thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one this is. We'll find out.
This one, I think, is just the teaser one. So we'll watch that, and then we can watch the roll call one.
Sure, yeah,
because that lists all the characters.
Sure, yeah. Let's do that.
So this is James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Yes.
I think it's going to surprise people.
Oh, Idris.
Get Idris my elbow.
I love the look of Harley's outfits in this.
Yes.
Like, that's a dope costume. You saw an actual boomerang being thrown. Yeah. Peacemaker. Fucking Flula.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It is cool seeing like the blend of some of the returning members from the first
Yeah.
movie, and then all of these new ones, but way more colorful. You know, like the costumes, everything is like way more comic-y.
That's crazy.
So that's the teaser. Why don't we look at the roll call, and then we can talk a little bit about these
Sure.
characters that are going to be in this movie.
Sounds good.
Waller, the Wall. Yeah, Rick Flag. Yeah, Yondu is playing Savant. Flula is Javelin Man. I do love that Harley outfit. I think that's the best one yet.
It's kind of a nod to like the classic, like the
It is.
the original.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man. We're getting Polka Dot Man. Rat Catcher. Oh, yeah. We're getting Bloodsport. That's Idris. That's who he's playing. King Shark. Yeah, Mongal. Oh, yeah. Peter Capaldi
Which
is
I
the
didn't know.
Thinker.
I mean, it makes so much sense, but what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Sul Soria. Yeah, Blackguard. That's Pete Davidson's character in this one. Nathan Fillion playing a character called TDK.
I'm wondering if it's just Arm Fall Off Boy.
I think it is. Yeah. The rumor is that TDK stands for the Detachable Kid. Jai Courtney, he's back, baby. Boomer. John Cena's Peacemaker, which is
Love that.
awesome. Get one of those old Charlton characters in there.
Yeah.
Pretty wild lineup.
That's crazy.
Now, you'll notice at the end, that cast list, Steve Agee is
Yes.
on that list, but was not in the roll call thing.
Yes.
Same with Taika Waititi. The rumor is that Steve Agee maybe physically played King Shark, and Taika is voicing him.
Oh my god.
The rumor is that Taika might be like the voice of King Shark.
Oh my god. I mean, that would be
It
incredible.
would be pretty funny.
It would make sense with the little like way of
Because
like
he was a very cute looking
Yeah.
King Shark. It's stark contrast to the shark from the
Yeah,
game or the
yeah.
shark even from like the Flash TV show.
it's closer to the shark from Harley's like animated show.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
it looks more like that, exactly, yeah.
I mean, that would be incredible if that's the voice. I mean, it also makes sense too because like
Hello,
sharks,
I'm a shark.
sharks are also like really prevalent in that type area of the world. So,
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
so I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. But
So some of the big reveals in there was obviously Idris as Bloodsport. That was the one people were like, who is he playing? Is it Bronze Tiger? Is he like is he replacing Will Smith? Is he Deadshot? Who is he? So he's playing Bloodsport, a character who I think is most famous in the comics for at one point shooting Superman.
wow,
A very 90s-y kind of character. Pete Davidson playing Blackguard. Blackguard is like a mercenary who's not very good at his job. He's like...
how does that end up on Suicide Squad?
Well, I mean, he definitely gets caught. I don't know why they would need him.
From what I keep hearing is that it is very much like don't prepare for everybody to die.
I mean,
Don't get comfortable
listen,
with anybody.
You can tell from the characters we're using, and also like just the general sensibility. And there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Some characters are actually going to die. Like, I mean, El Diablo died in Suicide Squad, which was like, oh, but like other than that, it was like Slipknot. It was like no one cares,
Yeah.
and everyone else made it. So this movie, I would expect a lot more deaths.
I'm
Some cool new
fascinated.
characters. Mongal is an alien. Very cool character.
Wow.
She's the sister of Mongol, very famous Superman Green Lantern villain.
Wow.
So having her in there is really cool. Polka Dot Man, this is like this forgotten Batman villain who has different polka dots that do different things and he throws them. Yeah, like I said, TDK, that name isn't in the comics. His symbol looks like his arms come off.
Yes.
So I think the idea is that maybe he calls himself the Detachable Kid.
And
I think
everybody's like Arm Fall Off Boy.
I think
yeah.
that would be a funny way to do it. Like,
Yeah.
Arm Fall Off Boy is a weird name to come in with. So if he calls himself something and everyone else calls him Arm Fall Off Boy, that would make me laugh a lot.
That would be and that's a very James Gunn joke.
I could see that happening. Michael Rooker as Savant. That's a cool one.
Who's that? What's that character?
Fuck. Savant is from Gail Simone's Birds of Prey run.
Okay.
I think he might be a little psychic. I can't remember.
Oh,
but that's from that run. So we're also pulling from all sorts of different eras of DC Comics. I think it just looks like, and of course, John Cena, Peacemaker, one of those classic Charlton characters, the character that the comedian is based on.
Yeah.
I think there's some really cool stuff in here.
Have they said who the villain is yet in this?
They have not.
I mean, it's interesting. There's always military force and stuff in there too, and they're setting it up like it's a war movie.
I'm not sure what the Suicide Squad is being sent to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm super interested in. Is what's taking this many people, right? Because it almost feels like it feels like a Justice League kind of thing, but it's obviously not that.
yeah, it's a Justice League of who's that.
Yeah. So I'm super curious to see who is at the level that they want to send this many people, but not try to get the actual Justice League at.
Again, though, still, I really do like that this wasn't a full throw out the first movie, just get a new team in. We do have Rick Flag in there to lead the team. We do still have Waller, who was Viola Davis was incredible.
The best part of that movie,
and obviously Margot Robbie is Harley. You're not getting rid of that.
But I love the costume, getting the
that costume makes me think of the Arkham games.
It makes me think it's
the leather, it's the right color combos, it's the black and red. It's partway between the Dini suit and something more modern.
Yeah.
Really, and it's kind of a commando-y kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a lot better and a lot less just overtly sexualizing her and putting her in a battle situation. It's oh no, she's actually going to fight, and you're putting her in actual equipment to fight it.
Got Boomerang in there. And they went to the trouble of showing us that he throws a boomerang in this
movie. Which is hilarious.
Very cool.
I wonder if it's going to come back.
Well, I mean, that would be an improvement on the first movie.
Yeah.
If they remembered boomerang physics for this movie, that would be good.
But I can't believe how excited I am. I mean, this is I love how much it seems like the cast is into this. It seems like they're really going about it the right way.
Yep.
And James Gunn is saying that this is the biggest movie he's ever done, which is kind of crazy.
It's wild because I would have thought Guardians would have.
Yeah. I know. But I guess, these are way bigger characters than that, and you're dealing with Guardians was a lot of green screen. This seems like it's a lot more practical.
I mean, I suppose there's that to it. Yeah, it does look like a lot more. Yeah, you're right.
So that makes sense to me. You're dealing with way bigger sets,
very very cool looking,
actual practical explosions, things like that. It looked like It seems like we're dealing with because you think about it,
Guardians, I think generally has been the movement in film anyway. Is sort of we've been swinging back from if the apex of green screen and stuff was the Star Wars prequels, we've been slowly inching our way back to, as much as possible, location stuff.
But I think that also Guardians was mostly done in green screen. So it's that new Disney it's that new Disney screen technology.
Yeah.
That crazy giant room with the
Well, that they only had that for Mando. They made
was
that
it?
For
oh, was it just for
That
Mando? Because it seems like it's going to be the thing that everybody starts shooting with.
I think that'll be the new thing. But that was I think new.
No, they did it also with Star Wars. Not just Mando, but
for 9.
They did it for 9, I believe.
Oh, okay.
They maybe even did it for Force Awakens, but
oh, okay.
No, maybe it was just 9.
It's relatively new.
It's pretty new though, but I not a lot of people have used it yet.
I think it's probably crazy expensive, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but if it's a Disney project, then they can do whatever they want.
True.
I mean, it's a screen at this point. It's paid. It's there, right?
That's true.
Got to use it. So I'm super fascinated by that. So, but it seems like it's a way better movie, so I'm excited.
This looks like a ton of fun. Yeah,
I'm stoked for it. Speaking of upcoming DC movies, one we're not going to get some footage of, but we got a bunch of more information. The Flash.
Yeah, that Flash panel was kind of fascinating. A lot of talk with it was sort of this prepped thing.
Yeah.
Some clips with Ezra, some clips with Andy Muschietti, the director, talking about stuff. Some clips with Christina Hodson, the screenwriter, talking about it. I mean, It was mostly to confirm things that had sort of come out, but just to say like, yeah, this is basically what's happening, which is they're taking some inspiration from a thing like Flashpoint, but instead of just being this one timeline change, instead of it being that, it's more about Flash tripping through the multiverse.
Yes.
Which is very cool. And the Flash panel was immediately preceded by a panel called Multiverse 101, which was Jim Lee and some other people just talking about like what is a multiverse.
Yes.
Which was very, very smart. It was like Jim Lee and Walter Hamada and some people talking about, and Greg Berlanti. So you got your head of film, your head of TV, your head of comics, all talking about what a multiverse is. And really, this is where DC is going now. This is where they're leaning. They said it in that multiverse panel. It's like, listen, Joker is in its own little thing. The Matt Reeves, the Batman, is in its own little thing. The DCEU, as we know it, is in its own little thing. And that's fine. And the DC TV is over there. They talked about getting Ezra in like last minute for the Crisis crossover and just saying like, listen, like this is the future of how we're going to tell stories, right?
Sometimes they can combine and go across universes.
That allows the flexibility for if someone wants to run with the main franchise, they can. If someone comes in with a great idea, they don't have to say, well, it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
You just make it and say like, well, it just happens over there.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing that has always distinguished DC from Marvel.
Yes.
I know Marvel has parallel Earths, but like it's just not part of Marvel the way it's part of DC. It's always distinguished them as a comic company, and it's finally like the right philosophy moving forward with it. And I mean, we've seen it evolving over the last couple of years, but now they've come out and said like, yes, we are a multiverse of stories. Some things are going to connect directly, some things are going to be their own little thing, and that's fun and cool, and that's how we are. And part of how the Flash movie is doing that is bringing in both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck as Batman.
And I'm curious,
Ben Affleck back as the Bat.
Thank God. I'm curious though, like if like how much screen time either of them are going to get. Is one going to be more prevalent, or is it just going to be like a bit and then a bit?
The one little like concept image they showed. Oh, they did talk a little bit about the Flash getting a new suit.
Yes.
And they showed a concept image that had the Flash in the new suit, and behind him it was very clearly Keaton Batman.
Oh, really? And
I was like, yes!
Fuck, that's amazing.
Very, very cool. But yeah, I mean, the idea of like tripping through the multiverse is such a cool thing.
Yes.
And, you know, it's obviously something that all of these different branches agree on now. And that's why they wanted to get Ezra in last minute on Crisis, and then just be like, listen, like, we shouldn't be siloing the way we silo constantly.
Yeah. What's cool though is also not only are we getting like Keaton, but I think we're actually getting like, it's almost like we're jumping into that movie, like because I mean they're using Danny Elfman's like theme. They keep talking about like revisiting these classic DC movies. Like it feels like we're like it's gonna be more than just like a character's like pop up. Yeah, I mean, we probably gonna get the Batmobile from then. Like,
I mean, we already saw, you know, the using that theme and stuff like that when we hopped briefly to Earth 89 in Crisis. Mm-hmm. You know, that's where we saw what's his face, Alexander Knox, reading the paper like, "Oh, come on, bats."
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I love it. I think it's a really, really fun idea. I still hope it's not only versions of Batman that we're gonna meet. I hope we're also just getting, even if they're played by the same actors, I hope we get to see like another Wonder Woman or another Shazam or like just someone else.
It'd be really funny if they got like Green Lantern, like they actually got like Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds would do that in a heartbeat. It depends what DC wants to do with this movie. Like, are we making like a multiverse movie, or are we like having some fun?
I know, like that would be,
and that's the question that I think I didn't get answered from this movie, from this panel.
Yeah.
I suspect, especially with the leaning on Batman, we're making a multiverse movie.
Yeah, for sure. But it would be
really fun to have just something, even if Grant Gustin is fucking in it, like just another little like, here's the TV Flash. Even if it's, just
that would be crazy if they did that. Would be
wild, and I would love it.
It's because I mean that's like still, I mean the stigma against like movie people going into TV is not what it used to be. But bringing TV people into movies is still like not a
That's
thing
true.
that happens very often.
It's the upward mobility
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
it seems a lot harder. Like TV's got not the same stigma.
Oh my god,
but
are we making the case that movie actors are gentrifying TV? They're moving into the TV neighborhoods and bringing their prestige and their shit like that, but people from TV neighborhoods can't go get movie jobs? Wow.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, we are political.
Yeah, that's what you come to this podcast for. But I mean,
it's encouraging to hear things actually moving, that there's a philosophy in that. I mean, obviously this Flash movie has been like constantly like new directors, new writers, new blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah.
Is it going to be Ezra? Is it not going to be Ezra? Whose contract is up? So the fact
can
that
fucking Ezra stop doing shit to like make himself look bad?
Yeah, they conveniently glossed over all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm impressed because that seems like a thing that most like brands would just go, never mind, he doesn't exist anymore.
But the fact that DC went to the trouble of putting all of these people out at FanDome to talk about it means it's happening.
It's for sure happening. I mean, 2022 is still, but geez. I mean, COVID, I guess.
2021 now is looking like
nothing is going to exist.
Is like, well, let's say things go roughly in the time they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad has finished filming, so that's just post-production. That can still come out in 2021.
Yeah.
Black Adam hasn't started filming, but right now is slated for December 2021.
I mean, technically things are still able to film right now.
Right.
In certain parts.
I feel like there was one more thing. Oh, the Batman.
Yeah.
That would be 2021.
Yeah.
2022 would be Flash, Aquaman, Shazam.
Yeah. I mean,
which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm
excited. Next piece, another game.
Yeah.
A game that I didn't know was existing.
This one is the one coming out of WB Montreal.
Yes. Gotham Knights.
Yeah, so this one is not in the Arkham universe. This is its own world.
Which I just had no idea that this even existed.
I knew they were working on something, but I didn't know what.
Yeah. So Gotham Knights, let's take a look. So Batman's dead?
Yeah. Here's Jason standing in an alley.
Oh, what Jason, please just walk over here. There's just an alley I need you to go to. Yeah, just don't worry about what the X marks underneath you.
Good lord. I love this look for Jason with the scar in his face and like the white in his hair.
Yeah. Good Bruce look.
Really good Bruce look. Someone on Twitter was like, he looks kind of like Kurt Russell, and I was like, oh fuck, Kurt Russell Batman would have slapped.
Oh yeah. There's no way he wasn't up for it at some point.
I would have hoped, yeah.
But Jason?
I think it might be Damian.
Oh, yeah. So we got a little bit of Dick, some Damian.
This is Barbara and Jason. So, yeah, Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, Red Hood. And you get to play as all of them in this game.
So is this based off of any existing comic?
No, it's just its own thing. Cool look for Robin.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Very practical looking. That Batgirl suit's really good too. I always like purple and yellow for Batgirl.
Finally get to play as Batgirl.
Yeah. Well, you got the DLC in Arkham Knight, but now you actually get to play a game as her.
Red Hood.
Very cool looking. My understanding is they also have some different abilities. It's not the full, you get to decide who you play as at any time, I don't think. But I think Robin has short-range teleportation because he has access to the Justice League satellite. Like Nightwing will have his acrobatics and stuff. I think Batgirl's got some more like computer hacky kind of stuff. Jason has a gun. I don't remember what Jason's thing is.
This seems closer to the Arkham game looking, at least.
That's the ironic thing. This game looks like Arkham, but is not part of that world. And the Suicide Squad one looks furthest from it. Oh, right here.
Court of Owls.
Court of Owls.
The town strikes you dead.
Pretty cool. They did show some gameplay footage for this one. They showed a bit of a Mr. Freeze boss fight where you're playing as Batgirl and Robin.
Oh, okay.
Which was very, very cool looking. I mean, like, the open world Gotham is massive, and as you're, like, approaching and there's this weather machine going, like, it's really, like, stunning looking. It's really something. I have this suspicion that the big... like, this is not based on anything that was said. I think the big boss fight of this is... that Bruce is not dead, but he has been turned into a Talon and brainwashed.
Oh.
That these four have to fight Bruce.
I mean, that would make sense.
It's gotta be, right?
Right, yeah,
it's gotta be.
That makes sense to me.
And then at the end of the game, you get Bruce back.
Oh, that would be cool.
That, right?
Yeah, I mean, that
it feels
totally
like
makes
it's
sense.
too obvious for that not to be it.
Yeah, you're probably right. That seems on par.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Looks very, very cool, though. But yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, watch some of that like gameplay footage, because the Batgirl on a motorcycle driving through Gotham, going off a ramp, jumping off the bike, landing on a roof, and then you're just playing the whole thing.
Wow.
It's fucking seamless looking. It's wild looking.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking rad. I'm looking forward to that.
It's pretty
lot.
cool. Yeah.
So let's start getting into some big movie trailers.
I mean, holy shit. All three of these big trailers, I was like, jaw on the floor.
I know, you were on Twitter, like, going through the whole thing.
On Twitter, I was like, I'm not going to tweet that much. I'll have thoughts will come later. And then stuff was happening. I was like, people need to know. People need to know that
I've got thoughts.
What do you want to start with?
So, kind of a movie, kind of a TV show. Let's start with Zack Snyder's Justice League.
That's right.
I have watched this a few times.
So have I. Let's watch it again, though.
Yeah, baby. I mean, it already looks so much better.
It does. Getting rid of that stupid fucking red filter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you see different versions of scenes we saw.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the Arrow with flames.
Yeah.
It's Diana in Greece looking at the Arrow. Like, you can see where things got changed.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason.
I mean, I love that it says hallelujah just as Jason takes off his shirt.
We're getting a lot more Cyborg. A lot more Vic Stone in this.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because he really got fucked.
This really, I mean, it does look so much better.
It looks a lot better. Like, I don't know how, but like, stuff that...
Yeah. What? People came at me on Reddit.
The Nala scene.
Yeah. Fuck.
Jason Momoa looked like he was the leader of the Doors in that scene.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh, this. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to see they found a way to reuse the Dr. Manhattan animation.
Yes. Probably cost a lot, so.
That's the actual Steppenwolf look.
Crazy.
That we saw in the Ultimate Edition of BVS.
Yeah.
Some cool Speed Force stuff.
That line.
I mean, listen. If you listen to this show, you know that I like the Snyder DC movies. I like them. I like Man of Steel. I like BVS.
Yeah.
I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know that I was ready to
how
be
much?
this excited. I don't know that I was ready to be like, oh, fuck yes, for this thing.
Yeah.
I think I was like, cool, great. I want to see what it would have been. And then I watched this trailer and I was like, holy shit, it's like this is the first Justice League movie coming out. I'm like,
it's like the other one never existed. But it seems like he just, my guess is he's just cut out everything Josh put in.
He has said that he would rather burn everything to the ground than use a single shot he didn't film.
Oh my God.
I mean, now here's trailer.
Yeah.
So stoked.
Yeah.
Watching the 4-part miniseries, which is how they're going to present it on HBO Max. Very stoked. The panel did not love.
Really?
Because a lot of the panel was like sort of glorifying the release the Snyder Cut movement, which is like, whether or not you wanted to see this movie, that movement was objectively horrible. There
was some bad stuff involved.
It was bad. And so, like, why can't we just be like, it's happening, let's talk about the movie? Why do we have to celebrate the shitty road that got us here?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that stuff. And Zack Snyder is such, like, a petulant man baby online about people. Like, has he been unfairly criticized at times? I think so. Was he unfairly fired? Definitely.
Yeah.
But, like, someone wrote something about, they'd be like, oh, this looks like some shots we've seen before. And some of them are from the first JL trailer.
Yeah.
And Zack Snyder wrote, like, you said you liked the theatrical Justice League because it was remind you of the cartoons. This is for adults. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up, Zach. Like,
you're ruining your own thing.
We're excited about your movie. Just shut your mouth and let us.
You finally got it. You shouldn't have got it. So
let us stay excited. So the panel itself, I was like, I don't really dig this, but holy shit, this trailer. We see Darkseid. We see Steppenwolf. I think we saw Desaad there.
Yeah.
Definitely a thing that did come up in the panel is how Cyborg is the heart of the movie, the core of the movie.
It's good because he got fucked over, I think.
The Justice League movie, we knew this from even before, was kind of like a Cyborg origin movie wrapped in the team movie.
And they just sort of like wiped away everything.
And Cyborg's barely in the theatrical.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited for that. Very, very excited for that. Excited to see more Flash.
Yeah.
But like, holy shit. Even just getting rid of that fucking red filter, I was like, wow, this looks dope.
It looks 10 times better than it ever did. I'm curious.
Are you surprised or not by how excited you are for this?
I'm absolutely surprised the way I feel about this because I was kind of like underwhelmed by the Justice League movie, and so I'm like, oh man, this is pretty good. Like if you could just do this to Suicide Squad, I'd be even. We could just redo our last like 3 years of DC movies. I'd be happy.
Well, this is the fun thing too. Also with this multiverse thing, right? If this goes well and people like it, you could do like things that sort of splinter from this one.
Yeah.
As opposed to splintering from the other ones.
Yeah.
Or the other ones can say, well, we actually come from that. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's a multiverse. It could be anything.
Well, I mean, this is really showing the extent of a multiverse is by going like the exact same thing, but just a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, really, if beyond, you're right. More than that Flash movie, more than the fact that Joker is its own little thing, more than the Batman is its own little thing. The commitment to the DC multiverse is anchored on the fact that they have 2 parallel Justice League movies.
Like, that's crazy. Like, unprecedented.
Yeah. Yeah, literally unprecedented. Because, like, the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition is just more. It's longer. Yeah. It's not a different Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's not like a Lord of the Rings where it's like, but this time Sam falls in. Like, it's like,
this time he didn't throw the ring in.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not that.
Yeah. Though in classic Lord of the Rings faction, it just gets longer the more stuff that gets added. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 4-hour Justice League.
That's crazy.
I don't even know that I have that much cum.
I mean,
if you watch Justice League for 4 hours or more, you have to go to a hospital. That's why they had to stop at 4 hours.
Yeah, because it's really
doctor recommended.
Yeah. I'm stoked.
I sent this to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, this looks so much." He was like, "I like this better than the movie."
The trailer.
This trailer is better than the movie.
That's incredible. I mean, the same thing with Suicide Squad. It's like Suicide Squad's finally hitting the tone I think that it should have in the first place too, which is funny because like Justice League seems to have tried to initially hit the tone that Suicide Squad should have, and now vice versa.
You gotta know where you sit. That's not to say you can't make like a kind of funny Justice League movie, but like I would hope that there are some funny or like at least just like warm character moments, if not like funny, just like I see them getting along.
I think like, funny's probably taken out of this. I think that's the only thing that sort of Josh brought in there was like one scene.
Funny is the wrong word, but you know what I like. It's not funny, but there were good little moments of levity even in something like BVS. Like Bruce drunk at that party is such an amazing. That's an amazing little character beat because it's him playing Bruce.
Yeah.
And then doing he's getting caught spying on Lex, and then he goes, "I was looking for the bathroom. The last martini was too many."
Yes.
It's not funny. He's not telling jokes, but it's like a good,
lighthearted
kind of moment
For
that
sure.
fits with the character.
Yeah.
That's what I want out of this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's going to be very serious.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound like Zack Snyder I know, but I'm very curious. And now it's like, look, both exist. So
yeah,
I'm curious to see someone's obviously going to do it is like take both of them and like mash them together
if they can. Yeah.
Someone's going to find a way to do it. Like, there's going to be a version online that you can download that someone takes like the funny parts of Joss Whedon's version.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we know what happened to the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
But even that little tag at the end and like, Batfleck saying like, I don't care how many demons he's fought in how many hells. It's like, that's a better line than the entirety of fucking Justice League. No one had a line that good. In Justice League, we got I believe in truth, but I also believe in justice.
Yeah.
And then this was like, this fucking trailer, I was like, if this didn't come out and I just got to watch that trailer,
I'd be
like,
happy.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's good
enough. Good
enough.
Yeah.
I can fill in the blanks in my head.
Yeah.
I do wonder if that line must have been post. Like that must be a newer thing that they put in.
Truth and Justice?
No,
because this is all stuff he shot.
That's only stuff he shot. They haven't done any of the reshoots.
Well, because they haven't gone to shoot new stuff.
That was in it, and they never used it. That's insane.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon's a fucking idiot.
They have not shot anything new for this yet. Most of what they're doing is like CGI renders, post-production stuff. There might be a couple of small like reshoots and pickups, but he had shot the whole movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'd always heard that there was that it wasn't complete.
Well, that's what we were told. That apparently it was complete within $30 million. So
I mean, that's a lot of money.
But part of that is like they got to score it.
Yeah.
He's getting like the Junkie XL Hans Zimmer kind of team back together, and like there's things that weren't done and CGI renders
for
and
sure,
all that kind
for
of stuff,
sure.
but like it's not like they were a third through filming. Like he shot it.
Yeah.
So there might still be some pickups or something like that, but I think
know
for the most part it's shot.
Because I thought he was shooting a bunch of extra stuff too.
He might shoot a couple of things, especially if he's fleshing out the 4 hours.
Well, and everybody's coming back, right? So,
but like I don't think it's like they're not blocking off like a month to shoot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's done.
Wow. Fuck.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Next, a thing that we've been fucking getting just little bits of shit like here and there for. Finally get to see a new trailer, Wonder Woman 1984. A thing that I've been really scared of because I've like a few months ago I had heard that like there was bad reviews of this sort of like from the first viewing. So
well, yeah, you had said that even I think before the first trailer came out that this had sort of come out.
Well, and the stuff that they had said does show up here, so
it's definitely in there, but it doesn't look bad at all.
But I mean, yeah, it still is. Yeah, well, let's watch it.
Yeah,
I haven't actually seen this even yet.
Oh, I love this like Amazon Olympics thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's where Olympics come from, right? It's Greece. I mean, not from Themyscira, but. Did she swing on a lightning bolt? That's pretty.
That was in
rad.
the first trailer.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the best, Chris.
I pine over Chris.
Oh.
That's your best, Chris?
Yeah. Oh, love that lasso twirl. Dope move. I think she was using the lasso to fly there. She was like spinning it like a propeller.
Wow.
I do like this flip that now she understands the world and he's out of touch.
Yeah. That fucking suit.
Fucking cheetah.
God, Pine is so good.
So, a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
The first trailer, we only saw Kristen Wiig as this sort of quirky, like Barbara friend.
Yeah.
We're getting the darker side. You know, she says like, I want to be Apex Predator. We're also seeing, it looks like she slowly gains power over the
yes,
movie.
yes.
Because there's stuff where she looks human and has powers, and then there's this bit at the end here
She
where
looks part
and Wonder
cheetah.
Woman says like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
And she is the cheetah.
Yeah.
You know,
Which I'm wondering if she's going to be going and asking for more power from what's his name?
Maxwell
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah.
I think that must be it, right? And I mean, this thing, whatever it is, this kind of stone thing, whatever it is that's granting these wishes, bringing Steve Trevor back, giving her power, that stuff like that. It's like a monkey's paw thing. So the thing that we haven't seen in these trailers
is like what's happening with
what's
Steve
the
Trevor?
monkey's paw of Steve being back?
Yes.
There must be a thing that Wonder Woman's going to have to sacrifice. To set it right. I mean, I think she loses some of her powers. That's why she has the golden eagle suit.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. But yeah, I think this looks really fucking cool.
I hope it is.
I like the idea of taking Maxwell Lord, who was always a pastiche of that sort of like Wall Street, like power suit kind of guy, and making him this sort of like Trumpian kind of character. I mean, even in this trailer, you see him like talking from the White House.
Yeah.
Like maybe he's wished for himself to be the president or
something.
Yeah. So the idea of taking Maxwell Lord and making him that kind of character, I think is perfect. I think it fits really well.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean,
it's interesting. They're giving this sort of like the thing that I'm glad they're doing, a bit of like the Black Panther sort of thing. Like you hear that line where she's like, everything's been so easy. You've gotten everything. It's like, I wonder how much of that will really bleed in, because it's the whole thing where it's like Themyscira doesn't help the rest of
which we've talked about before, right? Like, they keep their own women safe, but what are they doing for the women in man's world?
Yeah,
right?
Like, I hope that they give a bit of that to Cheetah, so that she sort of has two legs to stand on.
Because that's the thing of cheetahs in the comics, right? It's like, you fucking Amazons.
Yeah,
you like, how dare you, right? Like, look at where we live.
You're preparing for a war that's never going to come because there's no war for you that's big enough.
Yeah. So I mean, certainly you could read that in those lines. I agree. I hope that's sort of a theme in there. That's something that Diana has to grapple with, which is like, I've come to man's world, but like, what is the legacy of the Amazons? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
What's our place in this?
And also, she comes and she just gets whatever she wants, and she's beautiful, and it's just like,
well, she doesn't age a day, as Steve said, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I still think the 80s is like a fun little period thing too, visually. I mean, we didn't see it in this trailer, but the first trailer we saw like that very 80s mall scene and stuff like that. I like that she's not using the sword. It's lasso, tiara,
very much
like the more like pacifist one.
Yes.
Not pacifist is the wrong word, but
defensive rather than offensive.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I think it's awesome.
I think it makes more sense for like going like the longer she's there, the more she realizes that like you need to be defensive rather than just like going after everything. Yeah.
And I think that's truer to Wonder Woman's character too,
without a doubt. Yeah. Well, especially the lasso. I mean,
not that she doesn't have the sword and shield side, because she totally does, and that also is 100% true to Diana. But it's nice to see both. We got a movie with some sword and shield stuff. Her in BVS and Justice League is very sword and shieldy. It's nice to see her in this other light too. Just like
seems very much
Batman has facets, so does Wonder Woman, right? So it's nice to get a chance to see different versions.
From what we've seen so far, it's very much like she's being defensive on every single thing that I've seen so far, which is interesting. Yeah. She's trying to like de-escalate.
Yeah, exactly.
When the first movie, she was very much just getting more and more ramped up and angrier.
Which fit with that movie. But you're right. She's been in the world a lot longer now.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Final trailer.
Oh, fuck. I was not expecting to be as pumped for this one. I was expecting this to be like, it looks good.
Yeah.
And then
it came out. Let's look at the Batman. God, that sound.
The duct tape.
It's so good.
This is a really like wild look for a Riddler.
Well, this is still a young Batman.
Yeah, I think in the panel they were saying like year 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the show is supposed to be year 1.
Fucking Jeffrey Wright as Gordon.
Like, how is this
he looks fucking perfect.
How did it take this long to happen?
Yeah. Love it. That's like straight out of a comic. Look at this fucking suit.
Well, it's still not like an advanced Batman, right?
It's something like he made. Yeah.
Yeah. Because even the like Nolan Batman's like, this is Batman with all the technology.
Yeah. Look at that fucking suit. Andy Serkis as
So
Alfred.
love it.
I love this, like, it does have a very, like, Seven kind of vibe to it, eh?
Yes. Very
I love this, like, look at, like, proto Catwoman, like, early Selena.
Like the Riddler's almost like a... Oh. Finally just seeing a Batman actually fight. Like, that's a real fight.
Yeah. Oh, look at this fucking Batmobile, too. There's like a fucking muscle car.
Oh, I am so fucking
looks
into
like
it.
Kit on steroids.
Like Kit in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
I didn't think you could have a new take on Batman.
That's the thing. I was like, it's going to be Nolan again. But it's different. It's more operatic than Nolan. Nolan is too real. This is like... Yeah, this lives in like serial killer, like horror,
Zodiac,
yeah, kind of territory. It's so different.
You're gonna.
I mean, of course, there's nuances, but you're right. If you're just talking broad strokes, you got realistic, you got campy, you got gothic, you got, you know, like whatever, right?
This is a little bit of all of it.
It is, but it's definitely like a unique kind of thing.
You're getting realism in different ways than you did with Nolan, which is interesting. Like you're getting this sort of like
different pieces are real and different pieces are
like
heightened.
The vehicle seems more realistic in a different way.
Yes.
Like and his suit is more realistic in a different way.
And I think it's what you were talking about is that Nolan's thing was Wayne Industries, military tech applications. What does that look like?
Yes.
This is like Bruce Wayne, smart guy, but what can he make?
Yeah.
So he can,
like, he's got money.
So he can modify an
but he doesn't
existing
have,
car.
He doesn't have Fox.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
So
like
he's modifying a car. Or he is making this suit out of leather and Kevlar and stuff. Like, it's not a perfectly made tactical
like Nolan's
thing.
was trying to explain the other Batman movies
Yeah.
in a way that makes sense, right? So he was going, well, to have a really cool Batmobile, you would have to be like military tech, right?
Yeah.
And to be able to get a suit that looks that polished, it'd probably have to be by his like military side of his company.
Yeah.
Like everything was sort of explaining why things could be. This is like, what if it actually, like, what would you actually have to do?
Yeah.
This is, rather than trying to explain it, this is just going, this is what I think somebody would actually do.
Yeah, it's less
somebody
concerned. It's less concerned about you trying to poke holes and like, well, where did he buy the leather or like, whatever,
yeah.
shit
This
like
is just
that.
going.
It's
this
like,
is probably how it would actually happen. Like this is a different take on probably the reality of what it would be, rather than trying to like make up sort of like why it was the way it was.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the characters we've seen in here. So we saw Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner.
Yeah.
Gordon.
Oh my God. I can't believe it took this long to.
Maybe the best Gordon casting ever. And I'm saying that as someone who was like, J.K. Simmons as Gordon.
I think all of the Gordons have been good. Like I love them
I will
all.
say I do still like Pat Hingle. Like, oh my God. Who is it? It's Eckhart, sir. Oh my God. I do still kind of like Pat Hingle. I liked Ben McKenzie on Gotham. I thought he was a good young Gordon.
Yeah,
you know, like
made sense.
I liked Gary Oldman. I thought he was.
He was my sort of like proto version. That he was. I was like, well, you can't get any better than Gary.
But this
Gary
Jeffrey
Oldman.
Wright one looks dope. I can't wait until we actually. This is such a silly thing to say. I can't wait until we see Andy Serkis's Alfred, because I imagine he's much more like that Earth one who's like fresh SAS kind of like. Maybe he's just got
SAS.
Yeah. I'm a little bit younger. I've got a cane, and you've been making a real name for yourself, Master Wayne. Still doing Michael Caine's voice, basically.
Yeah, can't not, right? Like that's the version.
But yeah, like an Alfred that would like put on gloves and spar with Bruce to train him or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
that's kind of what I'm sort of picturing there. We just see him in a mask and stuff, but Paul Dano's voice as the Riddler over this trailer is like. Definitely, like you were saying, Zodiac. Like, Zodiac or Seven, or like, it's like we're in serial killer territory.
I mean, I love it that like you literally haven't seen him do any acting, and everyone online was just like, well, give him the Oscar
He's
now.
the best Riddler. There's never been a better Riddler. I sent you the still shot that's a very brief shot in this trailer of Colin Farrell as Cobblepot.
I love the thing that it's like, It's like you get him to do Cobblepot, you spend all of his money to do his thing, and he just ends up looking like Richard Kind.
Yeah. I think I wrote back like the Richard Kind thing is, or maybe I had this conversation with Stump because he sent me that too.
Yeah.
When I was looking at that still photo, I was like, he looks like Alfred Molina. Where I was like, oh, he kind of looks like Tom Wilkinson. And then that Richard Kind thing. And then I saw one that was like called it Richard Kind, Richard Scary or whatever. Like, or Richard Mean or something. But I mean, he's unrecognizable. That's some grade A prosthetic work.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell as Cobblepot. I also like the tweet that I saw out there that was like, so the world just wasn't ready for a hot penguin, huh?
Yeah. I can't wait.
That looks
I'm
insane.
Starting to feel like this might be the best Batman.
That Zoe
movie.
Kravitz, like Selena, looks great. There's people trying to they're already trying to solve fucking riddles.
Well, of course, yeah.
But I mean, even from stuff Matt Reeves had said that, like, as Batman is going further into these murders and unraveling this Riddler case, he's discovering something bigger that connects even to him, that connects to Gotham's corruption and that. So it's like, is this movie also doing Court of Owls? Or setting up a Court of Owls? Not necessarily that they're in this one, but like, are we starting to dig into like the secret history of Gotham? Like,
that would be crazy.
That'd be kind of dope. Court of Owls would totally fit with a tone like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Secret, like, Eyes Wide Shut society of owl masks and stuff would totally fit with what we just saw in this trailer.
It's insane. And so what I love is, I mean, Matt Reeves, like, his panel, like, the way he talks about this.
By far the longest panel.
Yeah.
Like, almost 40 minutes or 45 minutes.
But, like, the way he talks about, like, has, like, such a specific, like, direction that he wants to go.
But that was true. I mean, it's so silly sometimes when you say it out loud, but that was true of Planet of the Apes. He took what was essentially a silly sci-fi franchise, if not beloved, and made it this, like, harrowing, like, war drama where you're like, oh, fuck, what? Yeah. Apes. Even like at the end, like, I'm in the theater chanting for the apes, be like, kill the humans. He's like, how did he do this? Like,
this is the thing. Like, I it's what he does. And so what's interesting is that this movie is year 2. The show is supposed to be year 1.
Okay.
So the show sort of like
the show is supposed to be GCPD Batman year 1 kind of idea. Yeah. They are getting used to being cops in a city with this vigilante.
Yeah. And year 2 is like, he's been around for a while now. Like,
I mean, they clearly work with him. He's in the room with Gordon.
So year 1 is like them being like, well, this is not a good person. Like, now they're going, wow, it's Batman. We just got to deal with him. Yeah. Like, he'll let him into the room and fucking check shit out.
Oh, man.
I cannot. We were so certain of this,
and it's so easy to be shitty about, like, oh, another Batman movie. And, like, listen, if you like a character like fucking Hawkman or Zatanna or up until recently Aquaman or something like that, I get it. Like, I understand. It's like, can't you make a movie about my guy? And like, I totally am with you.
Yeah,
I 100% agree. I get the frustration, but there's also a reason that Batman's out there. There's a reason that he sells the most. They're not just making movies because he sells. There's a reason that he sells.
Yes,
and it's because Batman fucking owns.
Yes, like, it's true. And like
Batman is like an insanely rich character with a ton of history, and you can
both in wealth and in
and you know, as we've seen, there are nuanced new ways of doing the charter all the time.
I did not think there was another way to do it.
This is true of other characters too. I'm not saying Hawkman doesn't have that, but like, there's no reason not to do a Batman.
Yeah,
the goal should be to do a Batman and also these other things.
Yeah.
So hopefully these things like Black Adam, bringing in characters like Hawkman and Dr. Fate, that's a cool way to do that. That getting a Justice League Dark series on HBO Max, you know, then we get to see like a little bit more Constantine or Zatanna or Deadman or something like that. Like there is space for everything. And it doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be a movie and a TV space for everything. Listen, Batman's going to be everywhere all the time. We got to get used to it. But if we can ride this wave of like, over here there'll be a little Batman thing happening, but over here there's going to be, you know, Black Adam, and over here we're going to get Aquaman too. Then that's the ideal. That's the world you want to live in.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I went into watching this trailer being like, it's going to look fine. Like, it'll be a well-made Batman movie, and I will objectively like it, but, like, fine. And then I watched the trailer. I was like, oh, shit.
This might be the best Batman movie.
Am I more excited about Justice League, Wonder Woman? It's like,
yeah, that came across on Twitter.
Yeah, I know. I was sort of breathing into a paper bag a little bit by the end of FanDome, but yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, even the panels where not much was said because not much has happened.
Yeah,
FanDome was dope as hell.
I can't believe it. I can't believe how much we walked away with a year that I'm like, well, nothing's being made. Nothing's
Here's the
happening.
thing we haven't talked about, but I think is like some of the most exciting news out of there. Not film related at all, though. They had a secret panel that happened midday. And that secret panel announced that fucking Milestone Comics is coming back.
That's right. Holy shit.
Icon,
all of it.
Rocket, Hardware, Static Shock. It's coming back in like February next year. We're getting fucking Milestone back.
We're getting Phil Lamar is coming back as Static Shock too.
Are they doing a show too? Is that what they said?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, hot damn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, like, that was in the middle of the day and they just called it a secret panel at like 1:45. They were like, oh, by the way, iconic World of Black Superheroes is coming back. Mic drop. And like, we still have a whole 5 hours.
It's crazy. That's
it was
nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a wild day. There was cool comic news. That Sandman panel was a ton of fun, even though not a lot, like, we didn't get a trailer or anything out of it, but they just talked about it. Talked about comics. Really fun stuff. There were a couple of sort of silly ones where it was like, here's the cast of Wonder Woman playing a trivia game or like playing whatever. It's like, whatever. You can kind of tune in or out, but it's fun to see. That's sort of the stuff you want from a con too. Like, the fact that they balanced all those things and kept them tight, like to these 15, 20-minute things, like whether or not we get full cons, back in the near future, I think DC should keep doing this.
Well, this is like...
It's accessible worldwide. They had hosts from around the world and stuff like that. Anyone could tune in. It was totally free, and they got to experience, like, everyone online got to experience together, like, being excited about stuff. Yeah. DC should just keep doing this shit. It was also have stuff at Comic-Con, but like, keep fucking doing this.
But this was like Comic-Con, but you didn't have to sit through an hour and a half of Riverdale. Like...
and you don't have to like wait in a fucking line. You don't have to spend $12 on a hot dog. Like, and this was only half of it. Yeah, the comics side of it has basically been put off to September. There's another FanDome coming.
That's insane.
They had to split it in 2 days because they were like, "Oh, it's too much. People aren't going to see everything."
Yeah. Plus, they have to like figure out what they're doing with all the employees they don't have. So.
I mean, those are all executives.
Oh, if that's the case, then fuck them. It's fine.
Then.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I can't believe this.
So, of all of these things, so many things. What are your top 3 most excited? Is it just the movies, or did the games make it? Are you more excited for Flash season 7 or anything like that?
I mean, I like Flash.
Titans season 3. We didn't even talk about the Titans panel. They did talk about we are going to see Red Hood in season 3. Jason's going to become Red Hood. Oh, okay. They're moving to Gotham City. Scarecrow is going to be in season 3 of Titans.
I didn't even realize that.
We're getting Barbara Gordon in season 3 of Titans. We didn't even talk about that Titans panel. Like, all sorts of stuff. They had a crazy cool women of color in DC panel. That included,
I remember you were talking about
Nafessa Williams, who plays Thunder on Black Lightning. It included Candace Patton from The Flash. It included can't remember her name. She plays Zari on Legends. Tala Ashe. It included all these people talking about different things. The actress that plays Blackfire on Titans, and they were talking about like what it means for representation, like how does representation work well, when does it not work well. Like, it was, I can't believe how well they balanced this day between stuff that was like legitimately like good discussion stuff, and then also like, hey fanboys, want to say Batman punch a guy? It's like, yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This day crushed.
I think I'm stoked for those games, for sure. Number one for me is the Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so
number 2 is Justice League.
I don't want to be the guy who's like, Batman's the best, but like, that movie looks so good. Listen, if they start making shitty Batman movies again, I'll be the first to hop off. Yeah.
Like, keep doing a good job. I don't know. Even when they made a Batman movie I didn't really like, that Batman was still good.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Like-
That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. So that one's your number one.
Yeah, I think, and then it's the Justice League Snyder Cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always going to watch it, but like I said, I don't think I was ready to watch that trailer and be legitimately like butterflies excited. About it. I was like, oh fuck!
I didn't know I could feel like this.
It's like I'm losing my virginity again.
Yeah, again.
And every time I talk about comics, I'm regaining it.
Or at least making it easier for people to believe it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, for sure. Justice League, and then I would have to say that it's the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah. Oh fuck! There's so many fucking things. What are my top 3? Jesus Christ!
And I'm stoked about those games.
In no particular order.
Yeah.
Snyder Cut.
Yeah. Really?
I mean, holy shit!
It's not your number one?
I don't know. I can't commit.
I need you to do it. It's only 3. Come on. There's not that many things to choose from. I need a number one. What's your number one thing you're excited about? If you had to get rid of everything else and only walk away with one thing.
Oh fuck! It's the Snyder Cut.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
I think it is.
Wow!
If I couldn't watch anything else.
Yeah.
I think it's that.
I think it's because you're getting more of like the comic books than anything else.
I just, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Listen, I hate how we got here, but since we're here, I'm gonna love the shit out of this thing.
I mean, you could say that about most society. So.
Well, yeah, that's fair too. Yeah, that's like all of history.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate how we got here, but like, hot damn, do I love the era that we live in?
God, do I enjoy being able to buy a hot dog?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So fine. Number 1, the Snyder Cut.
Wow.
Number 2 is Wonder Woman.
Wow, more
Wonder
than the
Woman-
Batman.
More than the Batman. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Batman looks dope as hell. I'm super psyched. But Wonder Woman hits me where I live.
I'm still lukewarm on Wonder Woman.
New characters on screen.
Yeah.
We're getting more different comic
For
stuff.
sure.
And I just fucking love her and Chris Pine. They were so good in that first one. And both trailers have shown that they're good together in this one too.
Oh, they are for sure.
I want it. I want it. So yeah, Snyder Cut, Wonder Woman 1984, and then I would say the Suicide Squad. The James Gunn.
Over the Batman?
Yeah.
What?
It's again, I want the Batman. It looks great, but like
Jeffrey Wright.
I want the Suicide Squad.
Wow.
I am in for the Batman, but if you just put 2 things on a plate and said like you only get one of these, be like, well, I have other Batman.
I mean,
I want the Suicide Squad.
I mean, you've got another Suicide Squad.
And I've watched it 30 times.
God, how many times are you going to watch this one?
If it's good, maybe like twice.
Yo, yeah.
I only seem to watch bad movies over.
Yeah,
and
it's
over
true,
again.
or The Lord of the Rings.
Or the Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, I think those are my top 3. Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know who you are anymore.
I don't know. I think this is pretty on brand.
It is. And those are the more like, it feels like to you, it's like,
I like breadth of comic book stuff. I mean, I will take them if they show up, but I don't need 14 Batman movies. What I would rather is a Batman movie, a Wonder Woman movie, a Green Lantern movie, a Doctor. Like, I want the breadth. I want people to get a little taster sample of as much of the thing that I like as possible.
I still can't believe we haven't gotten a fucking Martian Manhunter movie.
As I was watching this Batman trailer, I was like, this is kind of what I pictured for my pitch for that Martian Manhunter one that we did on Patreon.
Yes,
I was like, I was kind of picturing it looking like this.
Yeah. For me, it's just like
if you just Gordon turns around and there's just a detective like in a hat, and I'd be like, this is the fucking Manhunter movie.
It needs to be like Area 51, like with like Roswell,
X-Files.
It needs to be Roswell, but like what actually happened was Martian Manhunter showed up and make it sort of like The Day After Tomorrow meets sort of detective-y kind of thing. Yeah,
I did have that thought watching the Batman trailer. I was like, I mean, this looks great, but like this also could have been a Martian Manhunter.
They're just circling it. Like I feel like they're circling the drain. It's just like you've done everybody else. Like it's like just come on.
Yeah.
Give him a chance. Like I know it's the alien, it's the one that looks the weirdest, but come on.
Yeah.
God. I love comic books, you guys.
Yes. One of us. Here in a random special episode, we finally broke him.
You know what the thing is? You know what the weird part of it all is? You know what kind of has gotten me there? Was kind of Final Crisis.
Really?
I didn't even really like it that much, but I think coming out of it, I'm like, man, like I started to really get this stuff. Like,
holy shit!
I know. I trust me. Like, I know.
You fucking nerd. I've been gaslighting you for 3 years. I think comics are stupid. I just turn it on you.
You take it off. You're actually wearing like a Boston Red Sox hat.
Take your lunch money.
Yeah.
Give you a swirly.
Throw your glasses down. You've had not a prescription this whole time.
I rip off the fat suit I've been wearing.
I'm like, it's my high school bully? Like,
it's me, Trev.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's incredible.
Let us know what you thought of the stuff out of DC FanDome. I know some people have been going back and forth, and
some people have just messaging us.
We've been chatting already, which is great. But what are your things you're most excited about? What are your theories?
What's your top 3?
What you think's going to happen in some of these games or movies or TV shows? Send it all. I like having those kind of chats. So let me know.
Hashtag dome me.
Hashtag give me dome.
Yeah. Hashtag yeah, we haven't done that in a while. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Hashtag good dome.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. What's your good dome?
Yeah, give us your hashtag good dome story.
Walk us through step by step. Photos if you got it. Show us your reaction to some good dome.
Oh no, I don't need that.
I'm surprised you didn't like Kevin Smith and just like a video of you crying while watching.
Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe when I'm watching the actual full Snyder cut.
Oh, you're definitely gonna cry.
A 4-hour live stream of me weeping.
Yeah. I was there in the first time you watched it and you cried, so
I was just excited.
Sure, buddy.
I did. Even in the theatrical Justice League.
Not as much as Avengers, but
that's true. Endgame got me more.
All right, that's it for this very special episode.
Adios.
Ciao.
They always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure. They are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.